Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TMC, the Mainframe community from Mainframe Society. So I'm joined today by Rooney. Sean, do you want to tell the audience a bit about yourself?
Hi everyone, happy to be here at IBM TechXChange in Orlando 2025. I work at Broadcom as a technical consultant in the AI Ops and Automation division. Been in the been with Broadcom for 4 years and mainframe space overall for 10 years.
Brilliant. And you've just given it like the full Christian name. You've even included the date, you know.
Can you tell this isn't my first interview of the week? Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, Sean, you and I have obviously known each other for quite a while.
Yes.
We had like a bit of a fancy dress thing at GS UK last year. You know, we've been sort of doing hosting some of the student user group sessions for Open Mainframe project.
Yes.
So obviously we knew each other quite well. But I'm going to ask a question that's a bit more personal. What would you say community means to you?
I love this question a lot. Community means to me a group of like-minded people who are looking to advance both whatever the mission is, the group, the collective we, and also personally is how I would define a community. Yeah.
So would you say with that kind of collective goal, sort of the needs, I don't want to sound like a, Spock, but the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or something like that, we've got to maybe, sort of work together to this common goal, this kind of greater good.
Yeah, it's such a cliche, but I think if I had to sum it down to one sentence, it would be the finding it better than we found it type of thing. So, wanting to leave it better than we found it type of thing. Like, not to say we found any community or any space in complete, everyone's disheveled. Yes, exactly. But just wanting to better and progress.
It's like walking into a town that's been shelled during World War II, and you're like, let's rebuild it.
Right. Exactly.
No, I think it's a valid point, isn't it? In that it doesn't need to be a catastrophic state, but sometimes it's small differences, it's more personal, kind of effort. Like obviously, so you and I, we were saying earlier, we could have a very corporate, very professional events. We could be wearing, suits and ties, if I could even fit into one, and we could be. But even with the kind of IBM champion varsity jackets, it's all very like friendly. It's not too self-serious because as an industry, we don't want it to be polarizing. We don't want people to feel like it's not for them. This is only for the professionals. It's only for the people who are sort of, uber kind of corporate. And I think it's all about that kind of communal, friendly spirit, right?
It's very important to be welcoming.
Yes.
Because and just to not be intimidating, like we welcome everyone with open arms, because it took me the longest time to find all the communities I'm involved in now, the IBM Champions community, the Open Mainframe project, new to Z user groups, things like that. It's where my motivation comes from is when I was starting on the mainframe space, I didn't know any of these things existed. And had I known these things existed, I would have felt more at home and kind of more at peace, where for a while working in the mainframe just felt like a job, just coming out of uni. And then once I found all the community aspect of it, I was like, oh, this is a career. Like I actually enjoy doing this. And then funny enough, the parts I enjoy of it are the things that are outside my job description. Like I'm doing these things, I'm doing this interview because I want to be here.
Exactly.
Like it's crazy. And then once you get involved in the communities, like we're friends. We talk all the time. Even we talk more about not work than we do about work.
Yeah, memes on Instagram.
Memes on Instagram every single day, which is crazy. Like we're on opposite sides of the world, but we talk every single day, and we don't even work at the same company. We just work in the same space.
Different time zones, everything.
It's crazy. Just the amount of like true friends I've made who like. We're not even coworkers. We just work in this space and have found each other, because of the communities we're involved in.
I think that's such a good point, and I think that's a really important distinction as well. Like, it's not, you can see something as a job and you want to see it as a long-term kind of career. You want to see it as like there's opportunities, there's growth, but also like I belong here, right?
Yes.
That moment where it clicks. Likewise for me was, I attended a GS UK kind of virtual event in my first week of the job. I said, I want to be a part of this. And within 2.5, 3 months, I was on the committee and I was starting to be more involved in that. And then eventually, I sort of thought, well, I'm doing all this advocacy. What's this whole champion thing about? And incrementally, you work your way into becoming more and more intertwined with the community. And like you say, none of that is necessarily relevant to my job. It's not part of my job description. I don't get paid, but I love what I do and I just want to be involved in it, right?
Right, and we so passionately care, and I think that comes off too. So that's something that excites people when they say it. It's like, oh wow, like we're here, like I said, because we want to be. We feel like deep down it's like, oh, I want to, sorry, there's stuff going on off camera that distracted me. But yeah, that we passionately care so much. Thank you. I passionately care so much. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, that we want to be here. And it's just that infectious energy that kind of rubs off on people, and people see that and it's like, oh, like what's going on
like
there?
Like that just
yeah, like what just literally happened here, like off the cuff.
It's
like,
infectious, isn't it? Like you can have a laugh, you can have a smile, and I think people can just really sort of, I don't know, like enjoy the experience. Like you could go to a professional conference and it just be very, very like, okay, I'm here to learn.
Uptight,
I am representing my brand, like I couldn't dare have fun. Like God forbid I smile. That's not really what we're here about.
Right, especially because I think we're so authentically ourselves too, which this space has allowed us to and which our jobs have allowed us to be too. So I think when people see that, because even you've helped me out so much too, even just the steps towards becoming an IBM champion. Because when you're looking at it from an outside view and you don't really have the ins and outs and the intricacies of all of these communities, it can be a bit intimidating. So I always go in with the mindset of like, hey, if I could help at least one person, like reach out to me on LinkedIn and I can help point you in the right direction. That's where a lot of my motivation and passion comes from, because I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had that person when I was starting out my mainframe career.
And I think that's the thing. We all want to be surrounded by these people. We want to be surrounded by people who, have the same values and the same kind of enthusiasm we do. I was happy to try and help you and anyone else to become a champion. I've already nominated 2 people this year. I'm probably going to nominate a 3rd. And for me, it's like, I don't, some people, again, we have this kind of conversation with a lot of our guests, but some people might feel threatened. They might go, oh, well, if they're a champion, can I be a champion? And, and now they're going to take my thunder away from me.
Right.
That's not really what we're here for, right?
It's funny because things, often when they're work related, people just assume it's a competition type thing. And it's never like, oh, there can only be one of us. Like
Highlander,
Yes, like, no, it's like, there is this collective we that we want to build up and be the person who's like throwing out a hand and picking someone up and be like, hey, you can get to my level too. I want you at my level too. Like, this isn't a competition, like it's me or you type of thing.
Yeah, and I think that is a really good point in that, your sort of success doesn't have to be someone else's failure and vice versa. Like, you don't have to kind of almost reap the rewards of someone else's struggles. Like, that's really not what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess then that maybe leads to my next sort of question then. With all this said about community, and obviously this is, something that we both care a lot about, is there any other community groups outside of the mainframe space that you're involved in? Any sports or hobbies, maybe any, volunteering things, like charity work?
I do charity work, but I gave some of those answers yesterday, so I'm going to give the more fun version. How many people are you interviewing for this?
I mean, that number's going up and up. Yeah. We're working that on the fly. Yeah.
So you know this, but maybe people watching this, well, you follow me on Instagram, so you know. But I'm very big in the EDM, as if you don't get enough 3-letter acronyms in the mainframe space.
That's the mainframe products, right?
Electronic dance music. So I love going to raves. I love going to dance music shows and everything like that. So, and it's not even just about the partying. I go to shows sober all the time. The best way I explain it is, do you like sports? I know you like D&D. Do you like any sports at all?
The ones where you roll dice.
Okay, do. But the way I explain it to my American friends, at least, is like, imagine you're going to a football game. So you've been to a sporting event, though, before, right? So, okay, matches, sure. So whatever team you're rooting for, can I say Nottingham? Is that a fair one, or is that someone you don't? Oh, no opinion.
I mean, I don't think there's many people in the UK who even support Nottingham, but let's just go with that.
Okay.
I mean, Robin Hood's from there.
Well, so. if I say Man U, is that?
My dad supports Man U, so let's do that.
Okay, we'll use Man U as an example, because I think that's just the popular team. Yeah. So when you go to a Man U game, obviously you have your assigned seat, and you make friends with the people sitting around you, assuming they're Man U friends.
Share a pie, share a beer.
Yes, exactly, because you're all rooting for the same goal.
Exactly,
you want Man U to win.
Common goal,
exactly. How it works at these shows and festivals, even it's different than concerts too, where you have your assigned seat. When I go to all of these shows, you're automatically friends with the people in front of you, the people behind you, the people to your right, the people to your left. When you're standing,
the same interest, right? Yeah.
You're all rooting for the same thing. And when I say in this community, it's more like so imagine you go to that Man U game, you know ahead of time they're going to win 5-0. That's 0, right?
That's 5-0,
5-0, yeah.
I don't think Man U have had successes like that in a while, but I don't know. I'm not a football fan.
So I imagine like go in with the mindset that you're automatically going to win 5-0.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's a party atmosphere.
Exactly.
And like you're exchanging Instagrams with people and phone numbers with people and everything like that.
And you're winning by being there.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So like worst case scenario, you're going to win 1-0. I've been to like bad DJ sets before, and it's like, oh, well, that wasn't the best, but hey, we still won. I still made friends, everything like that. So it's very interesting because I'm going to veer in a direction you're not going to see at all. So I'm not very religious at all. As I get older, I understand why people gravitate towards religion. But when I go to these shows and like get myself involved with these communities too, it's like, I understand how religion became a thing, because it's like, wow, like this communal place where we can all dance together, we can all sing together. And it's just like, it's very cool. We have it here with the mainframe space, and then also with the personal stuff I do. It's very cool being part of something bigger than yourself. And it's like, oh, you automatically have one interest. It's like, okay, we already have something in common, instead of being like, okay, when you meet someone, it's like, oh, well, there was a presentation yesterday when they were talking about the yin and the yang, and it's like, well, we could lean into our differences, or we could lean into what we have similar.
Exactly.
So when you lean into the one common denominator that you have of something similar, it's like, okay, let's build off this, because we're already in the same place at the same time. I'm sure there's more that we have in common, and we would get along and be friends.
Yeah, and I think that's a really lovely point. Like I've gone to, I've gone to sort of rock concerts, and obviously mosh pits. I don't know if they're a thing in EDM, but they're not.
Especially as I get older too. These can't handle that.
They don't feel as collaborative and friendly as. They feel kind of dangerous sometimes, but I mean. But I think the thing for me is like you say, you're all there for the same love, right? Like we're all here at TechXChange for the same love of the same kind of products, the same sort of endeavors, really, the same kind of general goals. And I think that's a really nice thing. It's what brings us together, rather than like these kind of conferences where maybe competitors are right next door to each other, and they're sort of like, oh, don't go to them, and oh, you went to that company.
It's so funny when I try to explain to my friends who don't work in the mainframe space, and I'm like, okay, I work at Broadcom, kind of a competitor to IBM, but you're going to an IBM conference, and it's like, how do you explain that to someone? Like, and it's just very cool that it's this collaborative thing where we all want to better the future of the mainframe.
It's
like we said earlier, it's not a me versus you thing, that we're all here. I have friends that technically we work at competing companies, companies. Yes, but everything. Like I have friends at BMC, I have friends at Kyndryl, like all over the place, same thing, that I talk to every day, but they're not my coworkers. We work on similar products, but technically they're competing products, but we're all in this together.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's a really important point. And like you said, you've got these common factors, these sort of underlying traits that are the same, right? Similarities. I mean, similarities between EDM and IBM is they both end with an M, and they both have 3 characters. And that does actually perfectly lead to my next question.
Okay.
What would you say are the other similarities, or maybe one of the notable similarities between, say, the music EDM space and maybe the mainframe space? Obviously, we've talked about the kind of culture and the love, but is there anything else that you've ever found is like a common factor, or maybe even a value that has translated both ways?
It's one of those things where I'm going to go back to what we talked about earlier, where it's just the people are so passionate, and it's not something that you can fake.
Yes.
Like there are times that I don't think anyone is here for the wrong reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we are here because we want to be here. So when you go to these shows, or when you go to these conferences, it's because you want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is being forced to be at these conferences. Actually, quite the contrary. I think most people have to fight to come to these conferences, because there's budget. Okay, you need to give a presentation of what you learned, things like that. So
like, I'm out of pocket being here, but I'm here for love,
Right. Yeah, so it's just the fact that people want to be here for the right reason. And especially coming out of COVID too, something I realized is people really want the human connection.
Yeah.
Where, of course, like, it's so awesome we have Discord, like, for gaming, and even for our mainframe community.
And the interviews online are much more convenient. But there's something about being able to shake your hand and having you
be here in person. Yes, because like, as much as we get along like over a video call, it's just so different in person. So I think in that post-COVID world, people are like really craving the human connection, which is something like they can't be faked. Like, it's something you could truly only experience in person, and that's why I think people fight so hard to be here in person at these conferences, despite them having the live streams and things like that accessible as well.
Do you think? Because obviously, say COVID, in theory, no one ever expected there to be a pandemic like that. Right. Do you think if anything like that was to happen again, people would become more risk averse, or do you think eventually they would still bounce back and still find the want and the need and the love for these things?
I
think they would.
I think they would easily.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky to live in a time where pretty much any concert now, you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it from your couch. That's not the same thing as being there, as being at a sporting event, right? You know, it's like
there's an atmosphere.
Yes, that can't be replicated. Me and my friends joke all the time. We have baseball Padres season tickets. We joke all the time that like 25 years from now, we're gonna have these virtual headsets where like our season tickets will be sitting in the dugout, like with the team, but we're really just sitting on the couch at home. And it's like you can't replicate the experience of being there in a stadium full of 50,000 people cheering and rooting for the same goal. Same thing at this conference with 10,000 people. You can't replicate being in the same room with like 10,000 people with these.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what they're called. They were calling them clackers. I don't think that's the correct term though. Thunder sticks.
Thunder sticks.
I remember that off the top. That's the thing I'm going to remember out of this interview, that I remember these are called thunder sticks.
That sounds like something like Thor would use. But, okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's also, like you say, it's a really, really good point about this kind of, people will try, they'll fight for it. They want to be here. And like you say, like, I don't think I've spoken to many people here who were like, oh, you know, like, I don't think I've spoken to anyone here who's been like begrudging about it or who's even been neutral about it. Like, there's nobody here who hasn't been so ecstatic.
You won't see someone here moping around unless I'm forced to be
so
here.
hard done by, you know.
Right. Like, oh, being in Florida. Like, no, like everyone's very happy to be here, and it's something that's a very infectious energy.
Even if you have breakfast at Denny's or, you know, you have dinner at Pizza Hut and maybe make some mistakes along the way, you know, there's still a lot to be
learn. Yeah, you learn more from your mistakes than your successes.
And I've had a already.
That's what sticks with you, yeah.
So I guess, well, we've got one last question that we usually ask, but I've got one bonus one for you, actually.
Okay.
So the last question would be, do you have a call to arms for our community? Do you have a call to arms for the audience? And it's something you'd want them to consider more, to think about more, to be more diligent of?
I wish we were more accessible as a mainframe. That it seems kind of closed off. There's also...
In terms of any, like, education, or in terms of, like, you know...
Just like, accessibility that the mainframe exists.
Okay.
In uni,
awareness.
in college. Yes, I would say the awareness in general. I feel like there's this self-fulfilling prophecy with, I'm trying to think, the more senior mainframers, that there's this idea. The lights just went off. Did I go off on purpose? All right, we'll keep going. Yeah. I was like, I thought they were like, oh no, he's getting too tan. We have to turn off the red lights.
Too tan.
But there's this idea where it's this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy that, oh, all these college-age students, all these Gen Zs, all these millennials, they don't think the mainframe is cool. Whereas you and me, we're millennials. I didn't know
I'm actually Gen Z, but only Gen. Wow. Don't hold it against me.
Get out of here.
This guy. I would have saved.
Do you see how badly he didn't want to be called a millennial? He's like, wait, quick correction. I am not a millennial. But
the riffraff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So he could have just let that slide, but he was like, wait. I'm not a millennial. But there's this idea that younger people don't think the mainframe is cool, where I hadn't heard of a mainframe until my junior year of college. So when I had my first exposure to the mainframe, I was learning about it, I was like, this is a new technology that I hadn't heard of or known about. So just because a mainframe has existed for 60 years and it's not new in the space of technology, doesn't mean it's new to these people who are excited about technology. So you
can't also, I think there's this idea that, you know, we need to make it cool. You can't force something to be cool, right? It has to happen naturally. It's sort of like the Barbra Streisand effect. You can't, like, try to get something off the internet. You can't force people to think a certain way. I do think, you know, it's even things like nicknames. Someone will say, oh, you know, this is my nickname. It's like, it doesn't feel natural. You told me it now.
Right, you have to be given a nickname. You can't give yourself
Exactly. And I think this is a real industry issue in that, you know, we're not letting people talk about how much they love it and make it cool just out of like sheer love. We're trying to maybe push it too much.
Right, too much to be cool.
And maybe even in the wrong places.
Right, when you start rattling off those facts where like 90% of credit card transactions, 70% of Fortune 500 companies, it's like, this doesn't need to be cool, but like it's a necessity for everyone in their daily lives. Actually, at GSUK, I attended a presentation last year where they said the average person just going through their day, whether that's Amazon shopping, social media browsing, and any banking they're doing, the average person touches a mainframe 23 times a day. They don't even know that. So like, we need to get that out there instead of worrying about being cool. It's like, hey, like this space exists. It exists for a reason.
Exactly.
And that would be my main, what I wish people would take away.
Exactly. I mean, you know, Apple and, you know, we'll say Windows and
Yes.
Microsoft and all these other Meta, they don't have to try and force it. No, we're really, really cool. Like everyone just goes and buys an iPhone. Like everyone just goes and gets a new MacBook or whatever, or the new AirPods. And I think it's the kind of like, I don't know, it's that sort of, maybe we need to be a bit more savvy with how we sort of talk about it and just a bit more honest, right?
It's so funny too, because like how people approach AI now is like, if it's like good versus evil to use AI, and it's like, we don't have that conversation with a mainframe. Like if a mainframe is good or evil to use, it's a necessity to use, and we should treat it that way, because like some people think AI is cool, some people absolutely despise AI and are like, we need to shame people who use ChatGPT. It's like, and it becomes this political thing. Like the mainframe is not political. It's like at all. So like
it's just exists and it's not going anywhere. And whether or not you want to see it as good or evil or necessity or not, you're going to use it.
Right, exactly. So people like want the mainframe to be more AI savvy or incorporate more AI elements or be more like AI, and it's like, well, do you really want that? Because you have people who passionately hate AI, and I don't think there are people who passionately hate the mainframe. You know?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, if there are, I don't know how
they're not here at IBM TechXChange.
They're living in some remote islands with no technology, no internet connection. Okay, so that's a great call to arms, a big kind of petition to the industry. But I still have one more question for you.
Okay.
So as an EDM person, you've seen the list of songs this year at the conference, right?
Yes.
So none of them are EDM. You can't sing EDM.
You know, someone asked me this question yesterday during like a lightning round of what's been my go-to karaoke song.
Exactly.
And so I just got married 2 weeks ago, and we had a saxophonist at the wedding for like 30 minutes. So the song I've been very into recently because of that is Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga, because like that with the saxophone, like there's a saxophone solo there, and I just haven't been able to get that one out of my head. So that's been my go-to karaoke song. Yeah.
Well, I'll be seeing you perform that one tonight then. Yeah. Belting that out down the microphone.
That clip will be like in the comments of this video, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, Niall.
As always, every time we get to meet, it's just a joyous experience.
Yes, likewise.
I'm really looking forward to the next time and have to do another interview. Find an excuse to do another interview.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to it. So cheers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.